Hi folks, it's Mike Murphy, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to do a complete reinstall or how to just change the operating system on your Hostinger virtual private server, or VPS. And you might be wondering, why would somebody ever want to reinstall or change the operating system on their Hostinger VPS? Maybe an AI told you to do some things in the terminal, or maybe you're trying some things out with Docker containers and something broke. Or your VPS is just not running the way it should, and you just want to do a fresh install to get it back to where it was when you first installed your VPS. Maybe when you first signed up for your Hostinger VPS, you did not realize that there was a self-hosted N8N template. So instead of choosing N8N at the install, you chose something like Docker. Or maybe you chose one of these N8N with 100 workflows or Q mode, and you really just wanted the plain old N8N template. Maybe your VPS got hacked, or you suspect there might be some malware on it. You don't want to take any chances, so you want to wipe it clean and do a fresh install. Or maybe you set up your VPS to do some experimenting, your experimenting phase is over, and now you just want to do a clean slate and reinstall it back to the fresh template from Hostinger. Or maybe you're just curious like me and you want to know, what does the WordPress operating system on Hostinger look like? Or how about Claude Code? What happens if I install Claude Code? Or Docker and Traffic? Or what about Olama? When you decide that you want to erase and reinstall the operating system on your VPS, it is going to reinstall a fresh copy of whatever your current operating system is and the current application. So if you have Ubuntu with N8N, when you choose to reinstall, it's going to erase everything and it's going to put back on a fresh copy of the current operating system, so Ubuntu in this case, and the current application, which is N8N. And if you want to do a fresh reinstall, which we're about to do, and you want to keep the current operating system of Ubuntu, but you do not want to keep the current application of N8N, well, after it does the fresh reinstall, well, then you can change the operating system and select the application that you want to change to. And I'm going to show you how to do that after we reinstall the operating system. Before you reinstall the operating system, just be aware, everything on the VPS gets wiped out. That includes N8N. All of your files, databases, configuration files all get erased. In addition to deleting your N8N workflows and data, you will also have to set up a new N8N account after you reinstall the operating system. So if you have a bunch of N8N workflows that you don't want to lose, well, before you click on that reinstall button, I would recommend that you sign into N8N. Open up your individual workflows. If you click the ellipsis in the top right corner, you can choose download to download the JSON file, and then when you reset up N8N, you can restore your existing workflows. If you have auto backups enabled, Hostinger stores your backups separately from the main server. So when you reinstall the operating system, your auto backup should come back up in the dashboard. But all of your snapshots will be deleted when you reinstall the operating system. If you want to save things like your Docker composed YAML files so it's easier for you when you set up the new operating system, well, I would recommend that you connect to your Hostinger VPS first using SFTP. That way you can see all the folders and files on your VPS, and you can just save them locally on your computer, anything that you want to restore or be able to bring back when you reinstall the fresh operating system. When reinstalling the operating system, your IP address of your VPS is not going to change and all of your DNS settings will remain the same. On this Hostinger VPS, I have Claude Code installed. So if I type Claude space -- version, Claude Code is installed. If I launch Claude, it is working. After doing the reinstall, we'll check and see if Claude Code is still installed. To erase and wipe all of the data off of your Hostinger VPS and reinstall a fresh operating system, sign into your Hostinger dashboard, go to VPS, click on Manage. In the left sidebar, you're going to go to OS and Panel, go to Operating System, scroll to the very bottom, Reinstall OS, and then you're going to click Reinstall. You're deleting all of your current VPS data and installing a new operating system. Be sure to make backups of important data, all of that stuff. You need to tick the box that you recognize all of your files are going to be deleted and cannot be restored. I'll click on Next. You're going to enter in the root password. This is not your VPS password. This is the root password that you use to remotely connect to your Hostinger VPS using SSH. And if you don't know your root password, you can reset it. So go to the Overview tab, go to where it says Root Access. You will see Root Password, and you can click Change if you need to set a new root password. Go back to OS and Panel, Operating System, go to the bottom, Reinstall OS, click Reinstall. You're about to reinstall a fresh copy of your existing operating system. Yes, I recognize. Next. Enter the root password. Click Confirm. The reinstall process has started. You will see the progress spinner at the top, and note it says it can take up to 10 minutes to reinstall the operating system. For me, it took just under 5 minutes. As you can see, the current operating system is Ubuntu 24.04, just like we had before. The current application, N8N, was installed, so this is just like if you did a fresh install with N8N in Ubuntu. If I go to the Docker Manager and go to Projects, you will see N8N. It has traffic just like when you first set it up. And if I go to Backups and Monitoring, I go to Snapshots and Backups. Notice the snapshot was deleted, but the auto backups are there. If I go to the DNS Manager, my custom domain is still there. All of my DNS records are exactly the same. The only issue though is that my N8N is not configured for traffic, so it is not going to open up with my custom domain until I add the traffic labels. So just like when I first set up my Hostinger VPS with the N8N self-hosted template, to reach N8N right now, I'm going to do so from the Overview tab. I'll click on Manage App. That's going to open N8N, and again, I'm going to have to set up a new owner account. Let's check Claude Code. From the Overview tab, I'm going to click Terminal in the top right to open up my VPS terminal. I'll type clear at the command line just to make some space here. Now I'm going to type Claude space -- version, tap return, command not found. So Claude was uninstalled when you reinstalled the operating system. The last couple things that I want to point out about reinstalling the operating system. So on the Overview tab under Root Access, my IP address of the VPS did not change. If I go to Settings, SSH keys, if you had already added SSH keys in your VPS before the reinstall, your SSH keys should still be there. And then if I go to Security, Firewall, if you had set up firewall rules, they may be inactive, but your firewall rules should still be there after the reinstall. All you have to do is just toggle on to activate the firewall and then click Activate. To change the operating system on your Hostinger VPS, in the sidebar, you're going to go to OS and Panel, Operating System, and then you're going to scroll down to Change OS. You can do a search if you know what you want, or you can just scroll through the different ones. So maybe you reinstalled your operating system and you had N8N, so it reinstalled it for you automatically, but you really wanted to reinstall it with Claude Code. So what you're going to do is go down to Change OS. You can do a search for Claude Code, or there it is right there. So I can click that. You can read all about it. There's a quick start guide, the documentation. Otherwise, you're just going to click on Change OS. After about 5 minutes, Claude Code is now installed with the Ubuntu operating system. I can launch the terminal. I'll type clear just to make space. I'll type Claude space login. And now I can just go through the setup process and Claude Code is ready to go on my VPS. And if I don't want to wipe everything, but I just want to change the operating system to something else besides Claude Code, well, I can just go back to OS and Panel, Operating System. We're going to go to the Change OS section. I'll go to Application, choose any template that you want. I'm going to go back to N8N, so I'll click N8N, just click Change OS. Yes, recognize that all my files are going to be deleted and cannot be restored. I'll click next. You're going to enter in your root password, click confirm. You'll see the progress spinner at the top. Again, it can take 5 to 10 minutes to change the operating system or to reinstall the operating system. I'll go to the overview tab. I'm going to click on manage app to launch N8N, and the same thing. I'm going to have to set up a new N8N account. If I check settings, SSH, my SSH keys are there, and if I go to security, firewall, my VPS firewall is there, but it is currently inactive, so it didn't stay active, so I would have to activate the firewall. And if I click on terminal to launch the terminal, if I try to launch Claude now, CLAUD space -- version, tap return, Claude not found. It was uninstalled when I changed the operating system, similar to how it was when we reinstalled the operating system. The bottom line is that both Change OS and Reinstall OS are going to delete the files, the folders, the Docker containers, the configuration on your VPS. So when would you use Reinstall and when would you use Change OS? You want to keep the current application and the current operating system, but maybe there is something broken or you messed something up on your VPS and you just cannot figure out how to fix it. Maybe you think you got hacked or there's malware on your VPS and you just want to wipe your VPS clean and reinstall it with a fresh version of N8N and the Ubuntu operating system. For that, you're going to choose Reinstall Operating System. Maybe you just signed up for Hostinger VPS and you didn't watch my tutorial on how to get started using your Hostinger VPS. So when you went to the checkout process, you didn't know that you were supposed to select N8N. You selected something weird like Rocky Linux or anything else. You went through the whole checkout process. You're all excited to go try out N8N, so you sign into your Hostinger dashboard, you go to the Overview tab, and then you see Rocky Linux 10. What in God's green earth is Rocky Linux 10? I thought N8N was going to be installed when I signed up for my VPS. So maybe you go to Docker Manager looking for N8N, and that's empty. Don't panic. You don't have to reinstall everything. You don't have to sign up for a new VPS. You just need to change the operating system. Whether you're reinstalling the operating system or changing the operating system, you are going to need to know your root password. So if you set up your VPS and you didn't save the root password, or if you just need to reset it, you're going to go to the Overview tab, look for root password, and you'll click Change and just create a new root password. Then you're going to go to OS and Panel, Operating System. You're going to go to the Change OS section. I'll go to Application. You'll see there's a couple N8Ns that you can choose from, but I'm going to choose the plain N8N, and that is going to install the Ubuntu 24.04 operating system at this time. N8N, just like the default self-hosted N8N template. I'll click Change OS. Yes, recognize all the files are going to be deleted. Click Next. Enter your root password. Click Confirm. You'll see the progress spinner at the top. Now you're exactly where you want it to be. You have Ubuntu operating system with N8N installed on your new VPS, just like you wanted it when you were signing up, but you accidentally didn't select it. No problem at all. N8N is now ready to go. Just click Manage App and you are off to the races. And that is how you reinstall or change the operating system on your Hostinger virtual private server. My name is Mike Murphy, your AI handyman. Cheers.